Yes, people, Fudge here, Cockney Reds. You know what time it is. We are finally back. It's been a long time. We are back. When I say we, I mean us. We're a family here. It's the Cockney Reds. And as you can see, I'm here on my own at the moment. Just timing issues, and it was going to be 24 days since our last game. So I think people have forgotten how to log in and all the rest of it. But I need you guys to give me some company. So do get involved in the comments. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button and also do like the video if you like this sort of stuff anyway. But it's all United content that we're going to be producing here. And we've got that target as well. I'm not even going to mention it. Just hit that subscribe button and that'll be amazing. But I think the best way to start this is kind of a little bit of a recap of where things are. Because where we last left off, it was the Bournemouth game, which we drew 2-2. And a lot of controversy. I'm actually going to keep it real quick because that was a game that I actually thought that we played really well in. We obviously had our first half was 0-0, but we played really well, and we definitely could have gotten ahead. I know Bruno had that volley. It's such a long time ago. I'm surprised I even remember the game. But Bruno had a volley which was saved, and then in terms of the first goal, Cunha batting up Jimenez. I mean, Cunha had a wicked game. It was really good. Dangerous all game. Jimenez was he was getting smoked. Cunha with a lot of pace actually, and obviously took it past him, went into the box, got dragged back, clear penalty. Daylight, it was a penalty. Nothing the ref could have done other than give a penalty. Bruno steps up, and another goal. What can you say? We'll come on to it a bit later. Because the next thing that happened is about 5 minutes later, I'm sure you all remember. If not, I'm jogging your memory, because Ahmad then in the box, maybe even, I wouldn't say it's more blatant, but it was still just a clear-cut, blatant penalty. He gets pulled back. Only now thinking back with a bit of hindsight that he fell on the ball and just held the ball, because then your ref's got to make a real decision, because it was just a blatant pull back and clear as day penalty. But as we all know, the ref balled it and didn't give it. And I guess we was a bit slow in the recovery. They broke on us, and we, as we know, they went down the other end and they scored to make it 1-1. 5 minutes later or so, though, we get a corner, and Bruno Fernandes, that guy, Bruno Fernandes, obviously comes, delivers the goods, whips in the corner, and we're all thinking it's a Harry Maguire goal, but no, it's an OG from Hill, and it's an assist for my OG. Now, I don't know if people might call it an FPL assist or whatever. All I know is my guy is cooking. And that was another great play from Bruno again. Just his delivery, just everything just been so on point this season, and really good to see him getting his props. I think most of the hate is now gone. I mean, I'm sure there's people that still don't might not like him, but yeah, I feel like now people are recognizing real. There's no denial of just how good Bruno Fernandes is, and really hope that he does push on. I don't know if that one counts. It might not count. Either way, 5 or maybe 6 more assists this season, and I think it's 5. And he'll obviously get a record, which would be lovely with just 7 games to go. But as we all know, it didn't end there. The controversy did not end there, because Harry Maguire puts his hand out. Evan Nielsen makes the most of it, twists, and definitely a softer challenge than the one that was given against Ahmad. But again, the ref bottled it. We just not getting decisions. And Harry Maguire sent off. And he's actually now missing, obviously, for this next game. So the game ended 2-2 against Bournemouth. And our away record hasn't been the best, which it's been a bit unwarranted, especially with that game, because we played really well. So we have Leeds coming up. But since then, we have had a long wait for this game. So let us know in the comments what you've been up to, because there's been it's just been international break, which is always dead. Been good to see a few players back, though, with Harry Maguire and Kobbie Mainoo getting released back into the England squad. I've got to be honest with you, I barely watch England, let alone the rest of the internationals. But I did see a lot of controversy, or just a lot of hype, which always seems to happen on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it these days. A lot of talk about Mainoo and the goal that was lost against Japan, didn't we? and I say we, obviously England, lost against Japan. And I see a bit of stick going Mainu's way, but I'm sure that was unjustified. And it's just whatever you can do for clicks these days. But yeah, Mainu, I thought I'm not even going to pretend I watched the game, I didn't. But from all I've seen, or if I looked at the stat today, it seemed like he did all right. And hopefully he's done enough to secure his name in the World Cup squad. But if not, who cares? Actually, no, I do want him to go. I know it would be nice to have him there for pre-season and that, but I think the way that his season started, with obviously not getting any game time under Amorim, and then now playing every week in, week out, and playing pretty well. I'm not saying he's been amazing. He hasn't been terrible either, but he's been consistent, I'd say. And he's getting better, and there's more things that he can work on, I'm sure. But I like him. I'm not going to lie. I think he's a quality player. I think there's a lot of ability in him. He's still very young. I think people forget that sometimes. Still real young, and he's got a bright future ahead of him. We'll probably will touch on that in terms of midfielders that we need to replace him with. But yeah, that was here. And obviously Harry Maguire also got brought back. Didn't like Tuchel's comments. I don't know about him. I'm kind of glad. I know people were talking about him coming to United and that, but the way he talks, I just never really been a big fan of it, man. And I know he obviously won the Champions League with Chelsea, which is no mean feat. And he obviously had PSG days, but I don't know. I'm not a big fan. So, I mean, there's a Carrick talk, but I'll get onto that. But yeah, for me, I didn't like his comments, and I'm hoping they backfire, or hoping Maguire shows his class and he does make it to the squad. Because let's be real, he's definitely one of England's best centre backs. But yeah, Harry Maguire. I know he's just talking that after he got sent off, but he did sign a new contract at Manchester United, and we did have a little bit of a debate. I think the main consensus was that he should stay. Let me know in the comments. Did you think that Harry Maguire should have signed a new contract with United? Because me, I think it's a wise decision. We've obviously got Martinez, who's quite injury prone. De Ligt, who's just been so unfortunate. He was having such a quality season, and to be out with a back injury for so long. I mean, with 7 games to go, we're probably just going to allow him now until the end of the season. Hope that he comes back from pre-season. But it's going to be tough to sell him. And hopefully he can come back, because it's just such a shame. He's still young. So if they can figure out what it is with the back and get him back up and running, that'll be great. But obviously Martinez has been injured. But by signing up with Maguire, I think it's just one less problem area for us. I think that we are going to make the Champions League. I'll get onto that. But I think we are going to make it, and we're going to need to sign a lot of players. So centre-back being kind of an area where we don't really need to focus too much on is ideal. Because with Maguire, as we've seen, he's not only a cover for De Ligt at right centre-back, he can also cover for Martinez at left centre-back. And I do like the young guns that we've got in Heaven and in Euro as well. So yeah, I feel like we're kind of set, unless we sell one of them, which would likely be one of the injury-prone guys, I guess Martinez or De Ligt. Then yeah, I don't see us doing anything in that department, which is great. So yeah, Maguire getting sent off obviously means that he's now missing for the upcoming Leeds game. And breaking news here, we've got some exciting content that's going to be coming out for the Leeds game, because it's Leeds. I feel like it's only right that we go up there, right? That we go up to Old Trafford and we show them what's what. So Monday night, check out some of the live exclusive information and details that are going to be coming from the Cockney Reds. Just a quick one, actually. During this little break, I have decided to upgrade my kit that I'm using. So let me know what it sounds like. Is the sound quality good? Is the video quality good? I don't know, but it's going to be bigger upgrade. So, and that's thanks to each and every single one of you that has hit the subscribe button, who's liked our videos, that's interacted in the comments. Thank you. You are helping us grow this channel. There's just so much more that we can do with this channel, and we're pleased that we're able to give back to the United community. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, share some love, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. That'd be amazing. Thank you very much. But this is going to be a fairly short video because we've got a lot of content coming up before the end of the season and before this Leeds game coming up. But yeah, during this little break, international break, obviously, and then we had quite a nice FA Cup. I know we got knocked out 3rd round. I don't care. It was a good opportunity to be able to see some of our rivals, and I am going to say rivals because they are the ones that generally give us the most stick. And yeah, it was great to see Arsenal getting humbled by Southampton. I'm not going to lie. That was beautiful. And I know City won, but it was Liverpool that they smashed 4-0. So can't complain with that. So, yeah, it was good to see that. And then in the Champions League, again, they say can't hate. Of course we can. Of course we can. And yeah, that's why we didn't manage to get it done earlier in the week, because there's a few of us that was hate watching. And against Arsenal, I guess they were playing Sporting Lisbon, so we weren't ever really going to get too much joy there. But Liverpool, again, getting smashed up by PSG. I say smashed up 2-0 was not the worst of results, but definitely should have been worth more. Like, I don't know how they didn't get an additional penalty there. And yeah, is what it is. But it's good to see that over these last couple of weeks, after the season, really. But I think people are starting to realize just how finished Van Dijk is and just how overrated he's been. Overrated for a long, long time. Long time. Some of the outlandish claims that I've been hearing from people, absolutely ridiculous. I mean, get in the comments now if you agree with me that Van Dijk is one of the most overrated players of all time. I'm going to say it, all time, because some of the shouts, ridiculous. And Carrick, the way that he spoke about him before, what he should be saying is, you better leave the football before the football leaves you, right? You know what I mean? But I don't think that's going to come out for him. Arne Slot, obviously great to see that he's been flopping. But I say, I think it was Antonio, and I'm sure it was Antonio that was saying, don't focus on the other teams around us. But I feel like that's all you can do. When you've got 24 days off, what can you do? You know what I mean? So that's what's been going down. And I guess it's also a good place to evaluate, because now the international break's done, it's the long one short-ish one until the end of the season. This is the tilt. I'm going to say title tilt, but we know the title's done. But this is the business end. This is where it all happens. Hopefully, we just need to get it done. I feel like Champions League is nearly there. Win our next 2 games, and it could be all set and done. Credit to Arsenal for winning that game, because that secured us. Top 5 is all we need. I think we're going to go for third anyway, but top 5 is good to know that we've got a bit of a leeway, a bit of a cushion. And with Chelsea 7 points behind us right now, if they lose against City, I know it's at a bridge, but they could lose against City, and if we beat Leeds, we could be 10 points ahead of them. 10 points ahead of them before we go to the bridge. And now that would mean that a draw or even a victory at the bridge, 13 points with 5 games to go. I think that sews it up, to be honest. But then you've also got the other teams that are playing each other. I think Liverpool have got Chelsea as well. And yeah, a bit like Antonio was saying, I haven't been focusing too much on them in terms of where their fixtures go and all the rest of it. But it's important that we get back to winning ways and we get to run those last 7 games. So let me know, those last 7 games, how many points do you think we're going to hit? How many points do you think we're going to need? But how many points, more importantly, do you think we're going to get? I'm looking at Carrick and I'm assessing where things stand at the moment. And 10 games in, he's won 7 games, drew 2, lost 1. You know what I'm saying? Sign him up. What a start that's been. However, these last 7 games is really going to be whether he secures the bag or not. So they are not the easiest of games. We still got the likes of Sunderland away. We still got, obviously, as mentioned, Chelsea away. Liverpool got come to us. Leeds at home. There's Brentford still to come. So there's some tricky games still to go. 7 games. This is where Carrick can earn his really earn it. So I know there's been a few comparisons with Ollie, and I know Ollie did have an amazing start when he was obviously Ollie kind of Solskjaer. He had an amazing start when he was caretaker, and then fell off at the end of the season. I'm really hoping that's not the case here. We've obviously had a lot of time off, which has been great for us. We're actually now, I mean, I'm sure they're back now, but there was in Ireland for some, I can say warm weather training, but it actually was. It's been beautiful in the UK they're in Ireland, so it's not quite your UK, but you know what I mean. Europe, well, they're nearby. So yeah, it's been beautiful weather, so which is nice that they've been able to bond. One thing I do find is quite interesting, and let us know in the comments what you think about this as well, is that there was talk under Amrim that during these periods, these long periods, they were going to do some friendlies, that potentially we're going to do some just basically rather than resting, rather than recovering, rather than training together, we're actually going to have some high profile today, but probably wouldn't have been. It means United, it's always high profile, right? But we're going to have these friendly games. But that doesn't seem like it's happening now. So, I mean, obviously it's not happening, but it didn't happen. So I wonder what the decision was. Maybe Carrick was like, as a former player, we shouldn't be doing that. And even the warm weather training, we didn't fly out to Dubai. I mean, Donald Trump might have had something to do with that. But the fact that we didn't fly out far, we just went to Ireland. I think it shows that Carrick, I mean, or that players really, where our focus is obviously on making sure that we make the Champions League next season, that we finish the season strong. But then I also looked at pre-season, and from what I can see, it looks like we're actually just going to be in Europe, like the Scandinavian places is where we're heading to. We're not going to America, we're not going to China, we're not going to Australia, all these far-flung places. And I reckon Carrick might have had some sort of influence on that, at least the training, maybe Steve Holland, because that's not United style. We normally go out there, we're trying to make as much money as we possibly can. Is this a new Ineos thing? Is it the fact that we could potentially be making the Champions League and the amount of money that's going to generate, and that just thinking that's the most important? But I kind of like it. I think like we need to look after the players. We need to make sure that we're doing what we can, because at the end of the day, if we're not going to be in the Champions League, then we're going to lose out on a lot of money anyway. So I kind of like that focus, but also some of the decisions that are being made, I feel like there might be slightly starting to see some Carrick influence in on this, or for the longer term decisions that are being made, which makes a lot of sense. I mean, obviously, Harry Maguire signing a new contract, whether the new gaffer, if it wasn't going to be Carrick or not, likes him, he doesn't get a choice anymore. Carrick's there. So, saying that, imagine a new gaffer comes in and he's like, nah, that Maguire needs to go. We need to sell him. Like, stranger things have happened. I mean, now at least he's got a contract now, so we can make a cheeky 20 million out of him. Ineos, I mean, either way, I don't see that happening anyway. But yeah, it's good to see. But I was thinking this: do you feel like if the season was to end where it is now, third place, where we are, no one expected that at the beginning of the season. When I say no one, I mean most people. Obviously, there was just Dave May saying we're going to win the title and all the rest of it. But most people didn't expect us to be in the Champions League. Even me, Mr. Optimistic, I was thinking Europa League, top 5. Actually, I said 6. I did slightly think we might be finishing in the top 5. But only because I looked at Chelsea and I didn't think they were that strong. Liverpool, didn't see them falling off this hard, but I didn't really fancy them too much. Villa, who were they? Now, to be fair, I don't mind Villa. But yeah, generally speaking, I did think that we could have a good season, because we obviously didn't show our levels last season and we made some great signings in the summer. But I don't know, just in terms of where things are right now, I feel like if it ended right now, Michael Carrick deserves a new contract. And I was just thinking, who would I take instead of him? And it's very limited. I'll say it has to be someone that's won the Champions League, which obviously Tuchel does fit, but I don't like him. Or it has to be someone that's won a league title, ideally in a decent country. I think Ollie's won a league title. Do you know what I mean? Solskjaer did, but someone that's going to be able to have that gravitas, like a Van Gaal or Jose Mourinho. And you know where I'm going with this. So there's no guarantee for success here. So for me, unless my guy from PSG, Enrique, says, do you know what? I've done everything and won the treble last season. Hopefully wins the treble again this season. And that's it. I feel like I've done enough and it's time for me to move on. Then in that instance, I think I'll take him, because I'm just thinking with Carrick, he's done such an amazing job. And obviously, like I said, if it ended today, he's done enough, in my opinion, to secure the bag to get him a new contract. However, Enrique, I was looking at it as in, who would I find as the biggest, what's that word called? When you're the FOMO, who would have the biggest FOMO over? Would it be Carrick going to like, Tottenham just signed someone, but let's say Newcastle sacked Eddie Howe, or they parted ways for whatever reason, and he goes there and he does a great job. That'd be annoying, especially if our new manager doesn't do great. And knowing that we just turned down or got rid of someone who was doing an amazing, got all his pressure on his new gaffer, and he's not doing it. So that's why I think the likes of Glasner, Iriola, even Emery, the ones that I was thinking of when Emery left, that I'd really take. There was loads of managers I would have taken. Eddie Howe. I would have taken all of these gaffers before what Carrick's done. But Carrick has changed my mind so far. I stress so far because these last 7 games are really still important. But with Carrick, the good thing is that let's say he left today, and like I said, season ending today, he's accomplished what he needed to accomplish at the start of the term. He's finished third. And the great thing is that we know that he could come back. He could go elsewhere, hopefully do well himself and start doing business. And although it would be annoying, he wouldn't be ruled out of coming to us again. But it's unlike an Enrique. If he became available and we didn't get him, and let's say Carrick next season doesn't start off too well, but now Enrique's been snapped up by City. Now he's been snapped up by Liverpool. A bit like when they got Pep or when they got Klopp, and it wasn't quite the right timing for us. That would be. I think I'll have bigger FOMO over missing out on an Enrique than I would on Carrick personally. As much as I love Carrick and would love for him to stay, it's the fact that you can look at Pep. It's going to be difficult for him to now to join United. Same with Klopp. It's going to be difficult for him to join United. And Enrique, if we lose out to him and he does go to Liverpool and he goes on and does amazingly well, it's like, oh, we dropped the bag. We could have had him there. He was there for the taking, and we chose to be not sentimental, I suppose, but you know what I mean. We chose to take the. We weren't bullish. We weren't as hard as we could, as ruthless. Ruthless is the right word, actually. Ruthless. But yeah, do you know what I'm saying? Get in the comments. Let me know if I'm making any sense here. Yeah, I'm saying only in that scenario when I'll be thinking, yeah, there's this guy that's obviously won the treble at Barcelona. He's won the treble at PSG, and didn't do too well at Spain. Like, this guy's available, and we decided to turn him down for someone who's done a great job. Don't get me wrong, but doesn't have that experience. He's been in Middlesbrough, done all right there as well, but that's all. No. So that's the only time that's the only person I'll be ruthless for against Carrick for. But other than that, I'm saying we give him the job because there's no one else out there. Emery slightly, but again, unless he's won it at PSG, I suppose. I think MP won the title at PSG, didn't win the Champions League, which is the Holy Grail, which obviously Enrique did do. But yeah, I wouldn't. I mean, it's close. I wouldn't say we should not interview these people. To be fair, I'm just saying interview them for the sake of interviewing them. I wouldn't want them to take them. Do you know what I mean? So, but I guess just so we've done our due diligence and we don't look like we just said like Carrick, that's it, and we changed our plans of what we were initially going to do. That's what Just Dave Mate's always on about. But for me, I don't know, unless like there has to be some pretty amazing interview for me to take the unknown over what we already seen and know with Carrick. And the unknown is obviously what happens next season when Carrick is no longer into. I don't think he's been given the time interim anyway, but he gets the contract and he has to start from the new season. We're in 4 competitions. We're in the Champions League now. It's got rotate now as well. We don't know what that's going to be like for Carrick. However, what we do know is that he's clearly motivated players. We're starting to see like people like Ahmad come out and say, Carrick, we want you to stay. He's obviously done a good enough job for us to even against like some of the top teams. Obviously, Smash City, that was one of the best performances I've seen in the last 10 years. Like, that performance was unbelievable against City. Arsenal, again, a real solid, mature performance. Again, we deserved it. We deserved to win that one as well. And those were his first 2 games. And then obviously since then we haven't had amazing performances in every game or anything like that. I'm not going to lie and deny that. But we've been so much more consistent than we've ever been. I know we haven't got the 5 wins in a row to get my guys' haircut or anything like that, but that doesn't really matter. 70% win rate this time round is unbelievable. And like I said, it was unlucky against Bournemouth. I guess we've been a bit fortunate in some of the games. Fortunate-ish by getting late goals, like late winnings against Fulham. We've got the goal against West Ham to draw. So, yeah, there's been those games. But, yeah, overall, for marking him out of, I was going to say out of 10, but if we're going to mark his grade, it's an A grade. He's done an A job so far. Can you make that an A star? Win those last 7 games. They had to win them, just finish 3rd. But then actually, I was thinking about it. You've got Chelsea, who are playing against City. Actually, now I'm saying it out loud. I know it's just a no-brainer for people, but would you rather, get in the comments, let me know, would you rather Chelsea beat City to get us closest to City and potentially finish second, or City beats Chelsea to kind of secure us a 10-point lead. Hopefully, we beat Leeds, or just give us a bit more security going into that game against Leeds. And just to make sure that we finish in the Champions League spot. And I know before I even see the comments that people are going to be thinking, kind of Arsenal went away with it. It'll be nice to have Arsenal flop. Even though it's City, though, see, I'm a little bit conflicted because I really don't want City to win it. I really don't. But I don't know any City fans. I know like one, maybe two City fans, but no one that's going to be in my WhatsApp group chats talking trash like all the Arsenal man will do. So on that instance, like that's what's been leaning me to want to see Arsenal flop. Plus, it'll be funny, wouldn't it? Obviously, just been knocked out of the final that we've seen against City. They obviously lost to Southampton in the cup. They also dropped the ball in the Premier League and the Champions League and end up trophyless again. That would be. I can't even put into words just how funny that would be. That would just be epic levels from quadruple to surely not. Do you know what I mean? So I don't even know what I could even do. I don't know what I could do to Arsenal fans at that point because I don't think I could even. I would just have to give them a week maybe just to get over it because that would be some hit the bottle kind of depression they'll be going through. But after that, then the banner can begin. But I guess we all want City to win that game then. But in terms of where we are at the moment, then that's kind of where things stand. And there was only one last thing I wanted to touch on. I mean, for this Leeds game, in terms of the personnel and the players, it looks like Martinez is back. Looks like Dorgu's back in training as well. Ballon Dorgu back in training. With Maguire out, do you put Martinez straight in? Do you play Heaven? We want Martinez to survive for these last 7 games. It's been pretty amazing, actually, that Carrick's had to deal with out having our best 2 centre-backs. Obviously, he had Martinez at the start, but the best centre-back partnership would be De Ligt and Martinez, and he's never been able to have that. I mean, imagine if some of these other clubs, Arsenal were without Gabriel and Saliba both at the same time. Like if Liverpool were out Van Dijk and Kanate, and do you know what I mean? Some of these other clubs out there, I don't know who City's best are now. Gay and Kuzanov, maybe? I don't know. But they've got plenty. They've spent plenty. But do you know what I mean? That we've had to deal without having the top 2, and it's not really been terrible. Well, it's definitely not been terrible because Maguire's quality. I like him. He's one of our best. And Euro's slotted in nicely as well. So with Maguire out now, though, does Martinez come seemingly back in? Let me know in the comments what you think. Do we stick Martinez straight in? Or do we just go with Heaven, which is going to be a really inexperienced back line against the Leeds team that are going to be fighting for their lives? It's not going to be too easy. Like I said, too easy. You'll see my prediction video anyway, how my head's really at. I have a little bit of time to think before I do that. But I feel like that is a game that we obviously have to win. You can say, you're in Heaven. We're going to trust you. I'm sure they've played plenty together in training. It's not the same thing, obviously, on match day. But as a pair, they are the future. So I kind of would like to see it, but I'd like to see them probably at the end of the season, once Champions League's already been sewn up and maybe even top 3's been sewn up because we keep winning and the other teams keep falling off and we got a little bit of change in the bag and we can just start experimenting a little bit. So, that's what I'm leaning towards. I'm leaning towards get Martinez. Only if he's fit, though. Only if the medical's gone through and he's 100% fit, then I would start Martinez alongside Euro. And then, other than that, I don't think there's any changes. Delo been ahead of Mazzuari, which I was surprised about, but that means he's been terrible. I feel like at right back, he's definitely better than he was at right wing back. And Luke Shaw obviously missed out on internationals with England, so he's should be nice and cushy after being back. There's no change in midfield. Casemiro with Mainu, Bruno, and then up front. Obviously, we're not going to get Dorgu straight back in anyway because he definitely could do some rest and we don't need to force it. Although I feel like he has been missed. Cunha has looked really good on the left now. So I think it might be a struggle for Dorgu to get back in at left wing. Although left back is definitely a bit of a shout. It'll be interesting to see if we start seeing him coming on where he gets minutes. Does he get minutes instead of Cunha? Does he get minutes instead of Shaw? That'd be really interesting to see. Mbumo or Ahmad, I think, is the real question here. Well, actually, no, so Sesko's in the mix as well. I think some people are saying that both of them have been a little bit out of form. Mbumo obviously hasn't come up with the goals and assists, but he's been playing up front, which isn't his natural position. I think he does a good job there. I don't think he's as bad as some people think, but you can tell he's not a centre forward. And it depends on the type of game, the fluidity that comes from having him, Ahmad, and Cunha in that front three where they can rotate a bit. Will depend on how we should line up this game. But I think they've got a few people out. And I see Rodon, I think, is out. I think Stack's out. I think I might have said that earlier. But with that being said, then does Sesko come in? You know how much I rate Sesko. I think he's a top player. He's our top goal scorer now. Might be joint with Mbumo. But yeah, for me, I'll put Ahmed on the bench. I think he's an exciting player who can definitely make a difference when he comes on. So I would, that'll be my starting 11. And I think that we'll cook him. Personally, I feel that'd be something that, I feel like that's a game that's there for the taking. But as I said, I'll share a bit more than that in the prediction video. Let me know in the comments what your starting lineup would be, actually. And other than that, before we bow out, someone did ask me earlier, actually, what, for over the last 10 years, I think we're all doing it for different clubs we supported, but over the last 10 years, who have been the best 3 Manchester United players? Who have been the best 3 Manchester United players? And 10 years, I'm just going to go post-Fergie era, really. And there's obviously one name that comes in there straight away, which is the GOAT, the best player in the Premier League right now, Bruno Fernandes. He comes in at number 1. I think that's pretty clear and obvious. The other 2, though, it's interesting, really, because in my mind, I'm thinking Pogba goes in at number 2. But I know that's controversial. I know that people don't actually really think that he was that good, maybe not good for United. And there's definitely arguments that he didn't live up to as much of the hype as potentially he could have done, because he was obviously world-class already before he joined us, even though he was very young. But no, I really enjoyed seeing him play football. I feel like the best period for him was when he got to play a bit higher on the pitch under Ollie when he first came in as a 10. And I guess it was just how he got I feel like we didn't get the best out of him when he was playing as a 2 in a 4-2-3-1. I mean, he did quality still there, and it was just some of the skill. I think it's easy now, obviously, just to look at YouTube and just pick it out. But if you watch, I'm sure that there must be YouTube videos of Paul Pogba and some of the passing, some of the skills, some of the goals. Yeah, I guess it's the kind of player that I like to watch. He comes with skills, you know what I mean? He comes with that quality, that gravitas. So for me, well, maybe controversially, he'll go in as my number 2. Number 3 is really, really difficult, And perhaps what I should have done was get a list, because I'm just doing this from memory. I should have got a list of all the players that we've had over these past 10 years and look at who it is that we've had, really. Because what comes to mind is 2 names, which I'm sure I'm missing someone out. First one, and I know people are going to be like, what? Anthony Martial. And I know that it didn't end too well, but I said it about Pogba as well, just the silk, some of the quality, some of the goals, some of the skills that he did. I just love the way he quick controlled it. I loved his interaction with Marcus Rashford. I like the way that they used to intertwine together. And I think he scored maybe 22 goals one season for us. And he obviously wasn't taking penalties, and he had that connection with Bruno Fernandes. I remember that free kick against Man City. Who can forget that goal that he scored against Everton to help us get in the semi-final, to get to that final that we obviously win with Lingard scoring that banger. There's just so many good moments to highlight with Martial. And I know probably Paul, actually, I'm thinking of Paul Thorpe saying, what are you on about here? But yeah, he's a shout for the 3rd spot. The other shout, which definitely would have been controversial a couple of years ago, would be our guy, Harry Maguire. Harry Maguire. Can you believe that? Harry Maguire being a shout after spending however much money it was, 80 million or whatever. And I feel like if I wanted to not be controversial, I mean, I said the type of players I like to see. Obviously, it's attacking players, people have a bit of flair, people with a bit of quality. And that's obviously what Pogba, Martial, and even Bruno brings. Whereas Harry Maguire has just been that dependable guy. There was that season where he was just indestructible, played every game. I think it might have been like nearly 2 years in a row. He would just play every game, just someone that you can rely upon. And then he was missing for, I think he got injured right at the very end of that season it was for Ollie. And he was in the Europa League final. And he was just a massive miss. It was sadly another Europa League final loss for us that we've had too many of them over the last 10 years, I suppose, even though Jose won one. But yeah, who am I thinking? Am I missing anyone? I mean, let me know in the comments if I'm missing anyone. But yeah, those are going to be my three: Bruno Fernandes, Paul Pogba, Harry Maguire, and I think that's it. So I'm going to wrap it up there. But like I said, do let me know in the comments if there's anyone else that I missed out on. Who would be your top three? And we're going to be back, like I said, with a prediction video. We're going to be back with some on the road stuff that we're going to be doing on our way to Leeds. Well, on the way to United to watch Leeds. And just let us know what you would like to see, because this channel is going to grow together. And we'll just, like I said, thank you to all of you guys that are been part of the channel. Even those of you that haven't yet subscribed, if you'd like to hit that subscribe button now, that would do me a big favor. But yeah, do subscribe, do hit the like button, do get in the comments, let us know what you want to see more of. And watch this space is all I've got to say. But thanks for staying tuned. And if you stay tuned so far, click that like button. But all that's left to say is, come on, United!